services that are offered to help our veterans in North Texas. Dave, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Sheila
you.
Williamson.
Have a seat.
I would like for you to tell our listeners some of the ways that you can help a veteran when they come in. What can you help them with? I know that you refer them out and you try to get them the help they need, but tell us some ways that a veteran can be helped the minute they come in the door.
Well, as soon as they come in the door, we ask them some questions. First of all, did they serve and when they served? What branch? What if they got a discharge? What type of discharge they got? And really, what are their questions? Why are they here?
Okay.
And so if they're here for, it could be a job, it could be subsistence allowance, it could be a rental, short-term rental, and many of the veterans that we see, some are homeless, some are in need of short-term monetary assistance.
Okay.
We have a book of service providers, and we match the veteran with the type of service that they're looking for.
Okay.
We're not always successful, but we have volunteer agencies that are out there that can help the veteran on his quest to become a productive, return as a productive member of society.
And it's my understanding, Dave, that all of the staff here are volunteers, but they're all veterans.
That's correct. We are, or veteran support. Sometimes we'll have the spouse of a deceased veteran.
Okay.
And they may volunteer.
Well, I can see where that would be very special, yes.
Absolutely. I belong to a few veterans groups. And so every chance I get, I'm talking about the Veterans Center of North Texas. And I tell them in my retirement community, I belong to a veterans group there, and I'm a resident of Frisco. So I belong to the Frisco Legion. But as far as a veteran that comes in here looking for help, that's what we do. We link the veteran with the service that can provide them to help become productive members of society. If they're needing a job, if they're needing car repairs, if they're needing child care, the whole gamut of what they would need, what anybody would need that has fallen on some hard times.
Right. Well, or just trying to assimilate.
Absolutely. Or just trying to become productive members of society. If they came in and they said that they lost their job, our question would be, all right, well, we did you temporary assistance? What was your expertise? What did you do when you were in service? And what are you looking for now? We can help with temporary assistance, but then we look beyond that.
Yes.
If you're coming in and you're saying, well, I lost my job, then we'll ask you, okay, well, we'll help you get some temporary assistance, but what are you doing in the out months?
Right.
What are you doing to help yourself get off that particular step? Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much how we handle things here. And we've serviced and worked with over 400 veterans.
Okay.
And we're in various categories of need.
Well, I can see them coming in for a job, for certainly, because they're trying to transition their military background with now a civilian role and trying to figure that out. I can see them probably coming in asking you what benefits they are qualified for. I can understand that, because I'm sure there's a myriad of benefits, but they don't probably understand what they all are. I can see that. But it's been my experience from talking to some of the veterans that, could you elaborate on the fact that you are in need of a service, or some service providers that provide legal assistance, for one thing?
Well, we are in the process, that's work in progress for us right now. We're in the process of lining up legal attorneys that can provide legal assistance. But that's in its infancy stage as far as our organization is concerned. As far as the regular veterans benefits, for example, we can do all of those things I mentioned earlier. One of the things we cannot do is we cannot help a veteran other than refer him if he is a disabled vet and he's looking to increase his disability rating. We can't do that. If he is attempting to get a VA mortgage, that's a VA function.
Okay.
So they would go to the county veterans assistance, veterans officers, and the service officers are in the same building.
Okay, so for both of those, either the mortgage or the disability.
Those two benefit issues would be ones that would be appropriately handled by the Veterans Service Office.
Okay. Would a disability attorney be a good referral for you?
It's possible, but I'd have to say that we would handle that on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
And we would have to do that looking at and being in partnership with the Veterans Service Office.
Okay.
Because we don't want to step on toes.
Absolutely.
We don't want them to step on ours.
I understand.
We're here to coexist.
Absolutely.
We both have one main item, and that's to take care of the veteran and their needs.
Absolutely. Well, the reason that we're doing this, Dave, is because we're all aware in the headlines today, or I hope all of us are aware, of the number of veterans that are just, they're giving up hope and they are committing suicide at a rapid rate of 22 per day. And things have got to, we've got to publicize, I guess, more, or the help that is available, and maybe reach out. All of us as citizens need to reach out to people to see what we can do to help to alleviate this problem. Because you've got the veterans coming back, they've already served, and then they're coming back and they're having a hard time. A lot of them are having a hard time, whether health reasons or just whatever. And that must be, I'm certain that some of these people, when they walk in the door, have anger issues, or they're frustrated, they don't know where to turn. And it's wonderful that you have a staff of volunteers that are all veterans that have experienced a wide range of things yourselves, I'm sure, when you all came back. Because I've never experienced that myself, but it can't have been easy when you returned to try and resume a normal life when you had been away for a while and seen and done things that made it difficult for you. So it makes you more empathetic, number one, I would think. But it also helps you when they come in. It would help you probably reach out to them because you maybe understand where they're coming from. So I can see where this would be. What can the listeners on this video, what can they do to help you help the veterans?
Well, we could use more volunteers.
Okay.
About 30 volunteers here now.
Okay.
And a lot of us are here about a half a day, one or more days a week.
Okay.
But we could sure use more help here from veterans or people associated with the military coming in here and offering their assistance. And it only takes a couple 4-hour visits to learn how to do the system, do the computer, and start to take calls and to help any way they can for any of the veterans that we have here. So having those folks come on in, and you can see the phone number up here where they could call in for help now, any veteran, or if you want to volunteer and be part of this Veteran Center of North Texas, we invite you to participate.
And how did you become involved? Tell us about yourself.
Well, I am not active duty. I am an Air Force 32-year-old senior civil servant. I was a civilian employee of the Air Force, civil service, and I was a deputy director for an office in Dallas that took care of environmental issues and engineering issues and bases in the middle part of the state, 21 states. So anyway, in those years, then I've decided, as I'm now retired, I want to do something to kind of give back and try to help those folks that I've dealt with all my time. And here's a guy that is a veteran,
yes,
and you might want to talk to him about his service and why he's helping.
Yeah, Chuck, tell us your background.
Well, I'm about as little veteran as there is, I got into the military right out of college, dodging the draft. I went into the Texas Air National Guard, and I spent 6 years in that, and at the boot camp and a technical school. But I never got out of Texas and Oklahoma, so I don't feel really qualified or as if I deserve any benefits. But what pushes my hot button is to see guys coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan and with horrible problems, limbs missing, PTSD, and that's what got me here. Now I'm not qualified to deal with any of that, but I am qualified to listen and then try to find somebody that can help this guy. And this particular model does that. We don't. None of us here are doctors. None of us are lawyers, but we all care. And that's that. In other words, we're a listener. And once we do that, then I think we've helped some people. We've missed on some, obviously, but and some of them game the system. But we find that out, and so we don't waste VA's time with that. We do try to smooth the transition from that door to where they need to go, and that's all I know how to do.
Well, the other thing is we're dealing with a range of people as far as age, not just the young vets coming back, but we have people that are coming in from Vietnam era. We have a few from the Korea era, folks that are in need of maybe going into a Texas home, state home or federal home, so it's a gambit of people. A lot of them in this area that we are giving a lot of help to, up to present age, Afghanistan, Desert Storm, those years. So a lot of people, a lot of different experiences age-wise that we're trying to help through those particular bumps in their lives. It's very gratifying to try to help these people. And you mentioned people that are fragile. And today we've had three that have called in, and we're trying to help them to get whatever counseling they can through the VA. But more than that, just to, like he was saying, listen. And a lot of them are looking just for voices to talk to,
yes.
A buddy. So those folks that we feel are in that fragile state, we're getting back in contact with them, every few days to see how they're doing, whether or not we can help them through those situations. So pretty much a gamut of people with conditions, and 30 people, both women and men, here as volunteers trying to help any way we can, and it's very gratifying.
In wrapping up, can you think of any other ways that our listeners could, our viewers, period, could help?
Well, as Thom mentioned, we could always use more volunteers. The information that we get over the phones doesn't always, it won't materialize with further contact. Sometimes it's just a voicemail, and it's, I need some help. We categorize our priorities of need. We have category 1, which is immediate, category 2, which is less, and category 3, which is not as critical. But category 1 is critical. So we're kind of attuned to we hear that in the plea of the veteran's voice. And so sometimes that comes through. I've heard the saying, you can smile and the person on the phone doesn't see it, but they can hear it in your voice.
Right.
So we like to think that we're kind of one of those voices in the wilderness that can respond, or the ears in the wilderness that can respond and be attuned to the needs of the vet and the vet's family.
Sheila, I'm going to jump in here if I may.
Sure.
So Dave pointed out that we're always looking for volunteers.
Right.
And we got 3 exceptional examples right here that come in. We are always looking for additional volunteers, but we're also looking for companies or people that want to be what we call service providers.
Right.
If there's a company out there, a business that wants to or thinks that they can help in a veteran in particular, we'd love to talk to them and see if it's something we can partner with. If we can find a contact to another veterans group, we'd love to have that. We always like to expand our reach and have more partners going out that way. We don't really solicit donations. Everything you see here has been donated, but we always accept donations. Once a year we participate in the North Texas Giving Day, and we've been very fortunate to receive enough money that keeps the lights on in here. We have no paid staff. We're just looking for people that care about veterans, want to help veterans, and they have different expertise. Dave's a retired command sergeant major. You know, we have a career civilian. We have a banking industry. Everybody brings in different knowledge and they're able to contribute. So if they're interested and they want to come in, we'd love to have them come in, participate, sit down and see if it's something they want to get involved in. And then we'll talk about, setting them up on the schedule. But thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure having you here.
This is Sheila Williamson. This has given you several ideas of ways, and I hope that some of this touches your heart to help our veterans.